Hey everybody, this is Chris Latin Sr. coming to you from Enterprise, Alabama. I have the privilege of introducing one of the finest gentlemen in 7K. That is my brother out of Phoenix, Arizona, Joseph Latin. Joseph's been with us, probably since a month after I started in 7K. He's an incredible leader here. He's a great teacher, and we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun working our business together. And so I've invited Joe to share his testimony, really his story about being a part of 7K. So Joseph Latin, take it away.
Hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share a little bit of my story because when you first asked me to look at 7K metals, I didn't know a lot about gold and silver. I knew it had value, but I didn't really understand what that value was. And so for me, I didn't first get into it for the making money part of it. I got into it for the gold and silver part. And so, you know, we weren't taught in school about gold and silver. We're not taught, all through the years. I did different financial courses and things like that, and no one ever said anything about gold and silver. And so when I talked to, you know, you and I said, "Hey, Chris, what do you do with gold and silver?" It was kind of like an eye opener. I didn't realize that it had so much value, that it had the buying power that it does, that it holds its buying power, and all the different things that go along with gold and silver. And so, I first got in, I started in that coin of the month, which at the time was just one silver eagle. Now we've got four options. We're adding more options. That's a cool part. But I got in, I started getting that silver eagle, and those coins that I got in the beginning are all, doubled in price now. I really wasn't expecting that. I was just kind of getting in to do the points, to try to get where the income side of it was paying for the coins, right? That was like my first goal. So I started with 7K. I was in traditional businesses before 7K, and those businesses were wearing me out. I had a assisted living home business with my wife, and she's a great caregiver, but the administrative work that goes along with that, and having to manage, all that goes with that. You're up early, you stay up late, you're working throughout the day. You get inspections by the state that could, they're random, they could show up at any time. And so in those businesses, we were working really hard. And so that idea to make extra income with something, that idea to make $1,000 a week or $2,000 a week, that was like really cool. I was like, I always dreamed of being in a networking company and making a lot of money. Well, then I saw, well, invite two people, you can make up to 500 a week. So I did that, and then invite two more people, you can become a copper, right? And as 7Ks evolved, I've kind of evolved with it. I got more into the making money part of it. I never would have come on a webinar like this years ago, right? I was in a pest control business for years, which was one on one, right? So, like, if I went to my brother Chris's house, for instance, it would be where I dealt with him one on one, but I never got in front of the family and did pest control. Like, it was like literally just always one on one. So I never got in front of people, I never got in front of groups. And so this whole Zoom webinar and doing presentations and talking about 7K was kind of new to me, but over this last 5 years, 5.5 years, it's gotten to where now, the benefits in the personal development area have been, they far outweighed even anything that I got with gold and silver part of it, right? I can get on stage now. I've done presentations for the corporate team at the 7K regional events. I've done, I can't tell you how many webinars now for the Sound Wealth Nation team. I've done our presentations for you and I in what we do, Chris. And so I love 7K. I love what it's been able to do for me. I do keep something here on my desk that I'm really proud of, and I hope you guys can see this here. But this is the Stacks on Stacks Award. I didn't have gold and silver when I joined 7K, and this is an award that they just gave out this year at the Las Vegas regional event, where they took all of our all the members, and at the time we had about 50,000 members, and I was seventh as far as my stacks of numismatic coins. These are our collectible coins. So I was really proud of that. My wife and I have worked hard over this last 5.5 years to every month just get a little bit, get a little bit, get a little bit. Well, over that time, it's added up, and we have, we not to get into the numbers, and we can't guarantee that anything's going to happen. But my net worth has gone up more in this 5.5 years, than it did in the 20 years prior, right? Because in those traditional businesses, at the end of the year, I was paying taxes on, those businesses, on everything that I did in profit. And so with 7K, there's no tax when you buy the gold. There's no tax on the capital gains. There's no tax when you sell it. All the different things about it help it to hold its value. So these are different things that I really have learned, and that I've grown to understand as far as why we have why we do 7K. The money making part of it, being able to work with my brother. Like right now we're doing this webinar, but we've worked together now, and for the 5.5 years we've talked almost every day, right, Chris? I mean, we've been where, he and I, we've been out of high school now for 40 years, and we went separate ways. I went into college, he went into the service, and so he was stationed in Fort Benning at first, and then he went to California, and then I moved to Phoenix. He and went to be stationed in New York at that time. So, every time we were moving around, we were in different places. He went to Europe and Korea. And, for me, I've been based here in Phoenix, and be able to work with Chris now after, what was it, 35 years of being all over the place, having to just video conference. Now we vacation together, we work together, we go to these regional events together. It's just so much fun being able to work with my and be a part of the growth of 7K, because we've watched it grow. We've watched it from where it was just one coin of the month to now it's 4. We're going to add a 5th one soon. We didn't have the Salmate wallet. We didn't have the stack and sell. We were looking around in the beginning, what's the value of our coins? How do we find out the value of our coins? And we asked 7K about that. Well, 7K created stack and sell for us, right? So all these different things that we needed in the beginning, they created and made part of 7K, which is why, I've always said I'll be a 7K lifer. Well, as they keep adding more and more to it, it just reaffirms that faith I have in the 4 co-founders. Roger Ball has given us so much wisdom in the business arena. Josh and Zach and their energy that they bring to the networking arena, where they're really good at what they do. And then Richard Hansen, his energy that he's brought to 7K right from the beginning is just, he helped launch this company to where it is today. So I got to also say thank you to Mr. Tony Hubbard. Tony joined this company when he started the day the company opened. So he was already in it, and I met him within days of being asked to join 7K. And since that time, Tony's mentored me. I get on Tony's calls in the morning. He's one that, he really understands the networking space. He's got a great relationship with corporate office, and he's a true servant leader in that he loves to teach people how to be successful in this. So I've been able to watch my brother become very successful at this. I'm having success at this. We're helping other people have success at this, but it's all thanks to Tony Hubbard. He's the one that really helped to guide us along this journey. So Chris, I appreciate you letting me share a little bit of my story. I know I went in a lot of different directions there, but there's so many things about 7K that I love. And in a 4 or 5 minute, testimony like this, there's no way I can get it all in, because the 5.5 years we've spent together, the trips to the Bahamas, the being able to go to Cancun and stay at all-inclusive resorts, we didn't do that. We came from a pretty modest background when it comes to the little town in upstate New York we're from, of 2,000 people, to be able to hang out with billionaires and millionaires. So I appreciate you, brother. I always thank you for bringing me into 7K, and I look forward to doing this for a long time with you. So
Nice,
I'll bring it
nice,
back
real
to you.
nice. Well, I appreciate you sharing that, Joe. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Appreciate all you do for 7K as a leader here. The training that you provide, the presentations that you do. We appreciate all that. You had mentioned your Stack and Sell, your Stack Award, and that's a pretty cool thing to be able to receive. But we have in the Stack and Sell, we can see the value of those collector's coins that we purchase on Autosaver. And what's your increase right now? Do you know? Do you know that increase?
Yeah, I do. It's 129%.
129%. I just looked at mine. Mine's 116%. So over the last 5 years, that's the increase on these coins that we purchased through the Autosaver program. And then also we get in coin drops. And these are just really fun things to do. So, Joe, I'm grateful for you, and I appreciate your time. I appreciate all that you do for 7K. All right, I'm going to end this.